Welcome back, folks. It's another great day here on Valiant Renegade. Make sure you hit that like, hit that subscribe, hit that notification bell. Share this sucker out on the social medias. And do leave a comment before you head out today. Because this is where Hollywood comes to get put through the business and financial lens of reality. It's time. Renegade Online. All right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. And yeah, we've just concluded the show on the main channel a little while ago. And I wanted to do a follow-up. StreamYard decided to reset all my stuff in here. I'm just now noticing it. I don't know. Why does StreamYard hate me so much? Let's see. Let's get back that. Let's get that going. The colors are all wrong. Every time I turn around, StreamYard loves to reset. Bang. That's a good start. How about we start with that and then put the headline back on. There we go. Now we're back to where we should be. Now we're finally back to where we should be. I was told that the stream earlier, the mic was a little hot. Shouldn't be. StreamYard should be adjusting this. Obviously, I'm not in a typical location, my typical broadcast studio, my typical location. So I've got a slightly different setup here with my portable USB mic. I really didn't calibrate it too much before we started. I assumed it was going to be ready to go like it was last time. So if it's a little hot, apologize out there. But hopefully we'll be good to go. Let me see here. Let's get the comments up. Appreciate you guys already out there in the chat. We're not going to go. We're not going to go terribly long. Yeah, I see you guys out there. Yes, Tender Warrior. Michelle looks very different tonight. She's downstairs. I know she's had a long day. I've had a long day. She was kind enough to join us for the last segment, about the last hour of the show on the main channel. And I promised her I'm not going to go too long tonight because I know I've got to grab my gear from the weekend, get on out of here back to the hotel. I know she's got work tomorrow. So we're not going to go too late tonight, guys. Probably go for about an hour. That's going to be about it. I really just wanted to have a chance here to kind of cover everything that's happened since our last Renegade Nation show on Wednesday. I wanted a chance to try to go through everything we've learned since then. And look, you guys have seen it all out there. You've been following it. It's probably nothing new that I'm going to really impart to you here. But most of everything that we thought was the case turned out to be the case. And what I mean by that is yes, the person who murdered Charlie Kirk turned out to be, to the surprise of nobody, really, except those on the radical left, to be a radical leftist. And we heard all the cries up in the beginning that, oh, he's going to be MAGA, he's going to be right-wing because he was in Utah and blah, blah, blah. And then, nope, turned out that, yep, dude had a trans boyfriend. As many conservative men often do, have transgender boyfriends. We played this clip last week on Wednesday as a bit of a reminder about what we've been through here for years, what conservatives have suffered for an extremely long period of time with this from the media, just the average everyday thing on the media.
Just don't even know why there aren't uprisings all over the country, and maybe there will be.
People need to start taking to the streets. This is a dictator.
There needs to be unrest in the streets for as long as there's unrest in our lives.
Enemies of the state.
Show me where it says that protests are supposed to be polite and peaceful.
Do something
about your dad's immigration practices, you feckless.
When they go low, we kick.
How do you resist the temptation to run up and wring her neck?
The biggest terror threat in this country is white men, most of them radicalized to the right.
I thought he should have punched him in the face. I said, even if you lost,
the biggest terroristic threat, according to Don Lemon, is angry white men, mostly radicalized to the what? To the right, is what he says. We haven't found many of those yet. At least we haven't found many that are out there picking up rifles and actually carrying out acts of domestic terrorism. This seems to be something that is almost the exclusive hallmark of the left side. And no, I don't want to hear about somebody's feet getting put up on Nancy Pelosi's desk and the Capitol Police taking them on a guided tour. Go watch the video. I'm not lying, of the Capitol in many cases. Opening the doors for them, holding it open. Come on in. Bizarre behavior. Yeah. Yeah. Let me just finish up this clip.
Insulted your wife.
Yes.
He came down the escalator and called Mexicans rapists and murderers. He said, well, what do you think I should have done? I said, I think you should have punched him in the face and then gotten out of the race. You would have been a hero.
I'd like to punch him in the face. I said if we were in high school, I'd take him behind the gym and beat the hell out of him.
Punch some people in the face!
When was the last time an actor assassinated a president?
They're still going to have to go out and put a bullet in Donald Trump, and that's a fact.
Look, as his character is stabbed to death.
Where is John Wilkes Booth when you need him?
Remember, a professional, this is my favorite, the professional photo shoot. A professional photo shoot with washed up, never was, not comedian, unfunny, cranky bitch, Kathy Griffin, holding a mocked up, severed head of Donald Trump. Please show for me the right-wing stars that were doing this, celebrities, right-wing celebrities, as few as there may be, that were holding up mocked up, severed heads of Barack Obama. Please show me that. Doing professional photo shoots and being on the covers of magazines and publications and having all the media talking about how wonderful it was. And brave, stunning and brave. Show me.
I have thought an awful lot about blowing up the
Yeah, that too, because Madonna crazy.
White House.
Yep.
A Missouri state senator is under investigation by the Secret Service after saying she hopes President Trump is assassinated.
I will go and take Trump out tonight.
And if you see anybody from that cabinet,
Maxine
in a
Waters,
in a department store, at a gasoline station, you get out and you create a crowd.
Oh yeah.
And you push back on them. And you tell them they're not welcome anymore.
After Election Day. And that should be
Are right at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue.
They're not going to stop before Election Day in November, and they're not going to stop after Election Day.
Remember, to the left, and this is the theme here: America's divorce. I'm telling you right now, whether we all like it or not, whether you think it's correct or not, whether you care or not, I think the days of being nice, because they killed the nice guy, right? They killed Charlie Kirk. The days of being nice, I think, are over. There were a lot of people on the right were trying to be nice over the years, trying to be polite, I guess maybe a better word than nice, polite. And we'll talk about that. But, the issue here is that I think those kind of days are behind us, and America's just fixing to have a divorce. Nobody's listening to the left anymore after this. And we're seeing people that have never been engaged in politics. And I want to read y'all something that somebody posted. We've got basically just a bunch of stuff that I've coalesced on X in the last few days since this went down, since our show that we had Wednesday. A show I didn't even intend to do. I was going to skip the Wednesday show. We never really do a regular show on Renegade Nation. I had to travel the next day. Clearly, I'm on the road. I'm not in my usual studio. And just to kind of go through, because I've had time to try to absorb everything that's happened, as many other people have. Not that makes it any better, and it shouldn't. But I think it's in large part his kind of it's focused. It's focused the anger. And I'm going to say the righteous anger. This is righteous anger. It's not the same kind of anger that you make up on the left and use to call a conservative literally Hitler or a Nazi because they have the audacity to suggest that, yes, transgenderism is basically a mental disorder. At least it has been considered such by the American Psychiatric Association since the beginning of the American Psychiatric Association up until about, yesterday. Not literally yesterday, but you get my point. Oh, no, we have a disagreement. No, I don't think we should be paying taxes, or using taxpayer money to fund abortion clinics, for example. Oh, that means you want women to die. Oh, you don't support trans rights, which nobody can explain to me what the hell that even is. I mean, what, letting men with penises go into the women's bathroom? Is that what trans rights are? So again, remember, to them, being a Nazi, what we would call that before the left lost its mind, is normal. Being a normal, regular, thinking, logical, middle of the road, common sense American. Not even necessarily conservative, because remember, again, to the left, everything to the right of, say, Mao or Stalin is a literal Nazi in their warped little broken brains. And you've probably seen me use the phrase on Twitter, on X, quite frequently in the last few days of your brain is broken, fix your brain. It's basically all the response I can muster to half of these frickin' lunatics out there. Let me grab some of these super chats here. I think some of these came in out of order. Medbutt for $10. Well, it's said there would be a reckoning soon, but I'm not sure what kind. I agree with those losing their jobs for their hate speech, even though I respect their First Amendment right. As we're going to talk about this. We're going to talk about this again because the moral equivalency arguments out there, I cannot stand the moral equivalency arguments out there. In fact, I can't stand, I haven't been able to stand them for years. I'm just done with them now. I'm not even going to try to engage in them anymore because they're retarded. They've been retarded for some time, and now they have become exhaustively retarded. I'm just not dealing with it. The moral equivalency arguments. So I get what you're saying here, Medmud. You're absolutely right. I mean, I agree with the ability for them to lose their jobs. This is a consequence culture. Cancel culture and consequence culture are not the same thing. And I'll talk about that in a second. Let me get these other two super chats you sent in that went along with this. Medmut for another 10. Maureen Williamson entitled to his opinion, and I thank him for his service, but he took an oath to the Constitution and violated it, so I feel he should get dishonorable discharge. I know who you're talking about. We're not going to go story by story, but yes, you're going to, there's a lot of people out there, military personnel included, that are going to be discharged from service for what they have personally chosen to post online. And if you're a member of the military, you voluntarily signed up to live under the military code of conduct. Whether you know that or not, you did it. It's been around forever and a day. So no, you do not have the same type of quote-unquote First Amendment protections as an ordinary civilian does. Military code of conduct has very specific rules that you agree to when you do this. Look at this. Look at this guy. I don't know if you want to hop in here, bro. I see Sidescrollers out there. My boy Craig's out there in the audience. Craig, I saw, in fact, I have a clip. I tell you what, I'm glad Craig is here. I'm glad Craig is here. Let me pull up. I've got a clip from Sidescrollers podcast. I got a clip from Sidescrollers podcast in my bookmarks that I was going to play tonight. Because let me show you the amount of impact. Let me go back and find this real quick. I think it was up near the top. I've got so many clips, dude. I have lost track of Lord Almighty, I'm scrolling through bit by bit. I know I had a clip here from Sidescrollers podcast. I think Craig posted it. I'm pretty sure I bookmarked it. No, I must have accidentally unbookmarked it. Craig knows the one I'm talking about. But basically, you've got these shows like Sidescrollers that do a phenomenal job talking about video games every day. And that is the mainstay of what they do. And I think he had one clip, and I don't remember which one. He's got a few of them on the page. Let me try to pull it up here. Here we go. This is what I was looking for. Yeah, this is the one I was looking for. Craig, if you're still out there, sorry. I thought I had this thing queued up and ready to go. I knew I wanted to play it. I saw you in the chat. I was like, all right, let me stop. Craig's here. I'm going to play this. So this is Stuttering Craig over at Sidescrollers. And, people were asking him, hey, man, it's, usually we 2,000 people, 3,000 people every day on YouTube alone, not including Twitch, Kick, X, Rumble, everywhere else they're streaming. And look, I'm a proud sponsor of the Real Video Game Awards. I think Craig recently is starting to look at the next series coming out. Valiant Renegade Nation is a sponsor for the Real Game Awards. But people have been asking, hey, Craig, usually do video games every day for 2 hours. And of course, sometimes the news gets in the way. And good for Craig. But this was something he addressed on a show the other day.
And this morning, for the first time, I paid less attention to the Nintendo Direct and paid more attention to what was going on in the Charlie Kirk assassination press conference. It was an interesting dichotomy for me, kind of decision that I was like, okay, yeah, I think this definitely has a bigger cultural impact, learning more about the assassination of Charlie Kirk than what new Nintendo game is coming out, if that makes sense. I guess I host a gaming and entertainment and culture podcast. Should I feel bad about that?
No, I'd be concerned if you chose the other way around, personally.
Okay.
Yeah, let me just TLDR you. You're going to spend $90 now for the same Mario game you bought 10 years ago. So that's what you missed on Nintendo. And from that point on, I think there are other things that are more important.
Yeah. And pointed out, and Jennings in the chat says life is greater than games, right? And I think that's a really good sentiment. There's, this is life here that we're talking about. This is ramifications across.
Yeah, and this is the point. Every channel out there, it's a story that you couldn't ignore. This thing with Charlie Kirk. It's a story that like Wednesday, again, had no plans to even do the regular Valiant Renegade show on Wednesday. None. Midweek box office catch up or whatever. Wasn't even sure. And of course, I wasn't able to do a show Thursday night with Ron Coleman because I was on the road. I did not expect to wind up doing a show Wednesday, but the whole show, I was like, well, that's it. We're going to do a show. We know, we have to. Everybody's going to talk about it. We've got to talk about this. And everybody should be talking about it. But yeah, so any case, thanks, Craig, for stopping by. I don't know if you're still out there, man, but thank you for hopping in. Medmutt had a third part to his super chat. For $10, young lefty girl in an Argyle sweater crying because her lefty friends, whom she thought they would grow old as friends together, told her she went too far being happy for Charlie's death. Karma's a bitch. Yep. Oh, there's a lot of that going around right now. There's a whole metric shit ton of that going around right now. Very, very much so. Thank you, Tennessee Tornado, the Renegade Raid over from the main channel. Thank you very much. Araxis, insert membership gifts here. Thank you. I know, no memberships. Wonko the Sane for $10. Thank you so much, Wonko. He sent that in as soon as I pulled up the window on the main show earlier to show, hey, we're doing a show here later. People started sending in super chats. John Maynor says for $5, check out what I tagged you in on the Tweety Bird. Okay, that was at 7:05 p.m. Let me take a look here. Give me a bit. 7:05. So let's see. That would have been 7:05 would have been my time, Eastern time I'm in now. So that was almost 2 hours ago. a lot of notifications in here. Oh, I think I found it. You said 4. Is this what you're referring to, John? I hadn't seen this yet. I was on a show, so if there was a lot of news on this in the last 3 hours, I probably haven't seen it yet because I've been buried in, I've still got to do the show on the main channel. This is Heidi Hutch KU TV. So I get a little leery. So who is, let's see, wife, KU TV, CBS, anchor reporter. So she's in Salt Lake. Okay, so she's a TV news anchor for KU TV, which is the local CBS television affiliate in Salt Lake. Okay, we've established who this is. I just wanted to make sure. Is that right, John? Let me look in the chat. John Maynor. I'm guessing we're on the money here. Okay. 2 men accused of lighting a live bomb under a vehicle in Salt Lake City. 2 men have been taken into custody after an operation involving multiple law enforcement agencies in a not MAGA neighborhood. It says Magna, Magna, which I'm guessing. I need Danny Ann here. Dang it! Why didn't I call Danny? I need a Utah expert. Magna, I'm guessing, is like a subdivision of Salt Lake. Let me get rid of this real quick. Hang on a second, guys. It's nothing against your super chat, John. I don't want it to be in the way here as I'm reading this. I need to switch this back to light mode. I cannot see a lot of the StreamYard stuff in dark mode. Oof, that's killing me. One of the suspects, identified 50-year-old. Another man was booked. Same time identified. Okay, so clearly 2 Muslim men here involved in this. Bomb squads involved. Fire authority determined it was a real incendiary device placed under a news media vehicle. So this is from today, September 14th. No, I hadn't seen this. Jeez and Pete's. They found 2 devices that turned out, but both of the suspects were found at home. 2 devices turned out to be hoax WMDs. So it was, or there's weird stuff going on all the time, man. All right, well, I can't get too deep into that one right now. I just wanted to see if it was anything that was fitted into that. But thank you very much. Thank you very much, John. Like I said, there's a number of things we need to go through tonight. So let me grab a few more of these super chats here just to kind of stay caught up. I don't want to let them get too far behind. You guys have sent in a bunch. Jim Butler says for 5, Charlie Kirk has become a real Obi-Wan. He's more powerful now than they could possibly imagine. Yeah, that is true. Ben Mutt for 10. Keir Starmer's afraid Muslims in England will be offended by the flying Union Jack. What is he going to do about the 1 million Brits flying the Union Jack during Charlie Kirk's vigil earlier? Yeah, right? You kind of wonder. And don't you notice, and I've got to get Matthew in here this week, because I've been wanting to go at that topic for a while. We're going to get Matthew Marsden in here, because I know he's got a lot to say, clearly. Magna is a city in Utah. Okay, that's what I thought. So, this idea, and I cannot tell you, how many idiots, and this is why I said earlier, when it comes to the left, we are not the same. There's no moral equivalency. People who are just out on the streets flying the flag of their own country are being called Nazis and bigots and racists in Britain because they're flying, they have the King George, or they have the Union Jack, or the St. George flag, sorry, or the Union Jack. Sorry, not British. I'm going to get some of this stuff wrong. And they're being called white supremacists. Does it sound familiar? It's the same thing we had here in the United States. People who just go out and say, no, we don't want our culture to be summarily destroyed by mass immigration facilitated by our government. And it's for people that are not coming to Britain to become British. It's people coming to Britain to import their culture into Britain and replace British culture with theirs. No other country. Find me all of the Middle Eastern countries. Find me all the Muslim countries, especially, that have massive Christian immigration into them, where Christians are setting up churches all across a Muslim nation and spreading Christianity. Find one. Doesn't exist. Thank you. Exactly. Why? Because they would never allow it. Because they don't want their culture replaced by another culture, Western, Eastern, or otherwise. So then why is it white supremacy or racism when British people, white, black, and otherwise, just good British citizens that want to be British, are finally getting really pissed off that they're watching their entire culture slowly be eradicated by mass immigration, invaders in their country who are not coming in to become British, but they are coming in to replace the British. These facts are not in dispute. But we're going to call them white supremacists. So we're going to use the same language. Remember to the left, words are weapons. It's the same thing. Words are weapons. How much dehumanization of just British people that are tired of watching their daughters and their wives and whatnot get assaulted by immigrants, by foreigners, people that probably don't belong in their country whatsoever, that have no intention of actually becoming a part of their country, no intention of assimilating into their country. But they're in the park, grabbing animals in public parks, fish out the river. There's all kind of videos. It's bizarre. It's like, no, you don't belong here. They never want to go to a friendly country next door that would be much more culturally suited. If they really wanted, I'm going to leave my country. I need to be a political refugee. Move to a like country right next door. Go do that. No. They show up in Europe, in the UK, in America. Why? Welfare, invitations from politicians, voter registration cards, guaranteeing one party virtually limitless and infinite political power. I mean, it's phenomenal. So yeah, and Michelle will be joining us here in a little while as well. So she'll stop in to say hi and share her thoughts as well. Because she and I have talked a lot about this weekend. I've been up here, if you were watching the show from earlier, up in the Smokies in Tennessee and looking for a little bit of investment property up here. I've been shopping up here for about a year for some investment property. So, heading back to New Orleans in a day or so. We'll be on the road. So just closing out tonight with this Renegade Nation show. Jim Kramer, thank you very much for that super chat. Medmutt. And Keir Starmer's afraid Muslims. We got that one. We got that one. Thank you. Snarky for 2. I think Erica should sue the media. Talking about Erica Kirk, I'm sure. Yeah. There's people out there that are saying some just awful things. Just made up lies. I think suggestions have already been made by some very prominent voices that Erica Kirk should consider a litany of defamation lawsuits. I think that's on the table. Juliet is out there, never quits for 5 British pounds sterling. You don't have to send me a penny, Juliet, but we love you. Thank you so much. Wonderful moderator here. She is up super early because Juliet is in the UK. Morning Renegade Nation news, panel, and chat. Well, for now, the panel is me, but we might have Michelle join us later. Snarky for 5, a shot on YouTube, a young lady in tears asks, or a short on YouTube, a young lady in tears asks, AI, what would Charlie say now? Pretty spot on. Yeah, I'll have to look that one up. I haven't seen. There's so many bad ones and good ones out there. I've seen a lot more bad ones than good ones. Patrick Robinson for 5. Valiant, I unfriended a bunch of friends who were on the left and cheered on the death of Charlie Kirk. Am I letting them win? No. Nope. They're going to be, let me tell you what, the people doing this, and I'm going to pull this up. I'm going to take a break right here because I've got to get to this. I think these people are going to be more isolated than anything we've ever seen in this country. And we can argue that's good and we can argue that's bad, right? The more people get isolated, a lot of times, the more radicalized they can become. But then you have to make the argument, well, how much more radicalized are we talking about here? Because these kind of people are already celebrating the assassination of the nice guy. The nice guy. And all they did was made up lies about it. They're still making up lies about him. They're making up lies about him online, saying Charlie Kirk said, well, slavery was a better thing for black people. I mean, this is actually going around. They don't listen to what he actually says. They just love to cherry pick it as they filter it through their own warped, screwed up brains. They hear what they want to hear, and it's not at all what the man said. But to a leftist who's already considered, before they've heard Charlie Kirk say a word, they've already labeled him a Nazi and a racist. Well, then their brain is immediately going to filter anything and everything he says to fit that narrative. So when you're talking about people like this, how much more can isolation actually damage these people's already completely mentally dysfunctional, cognitively short-circuited brains? I mean, how much worse can it get if they feel more isolated? What are they going to do? Start killing us? We're already there, kids. What do you want? What do you want? Right? All right, let me find this. It's a long thread, but damn, it was good. Oh, please tell me I absolutely saved this because I may never find this thing again. Oh, Lord. I saved a bunch of stuff on the phone, and I mean from the app on the phone, and this was from... Oh, this has to be from today. So wait a minute. Oh, this is good. I had this saved. Our friend Nina Infinity. I saw this morning. How perfect is this image? Look at this thing. What is another round of isolation for these loons going to do? We are not the same. There is no moral equivalency. We're not playing this game anymore. You shot the nice guy. Now you get the other guy. Okay? And I don't mean to say that the other guy is going to shoot back at you tomorrow, but you're not going to get the guy like Charlie. I mean, the Charlie Kirks were limited. I mean, he truly was. He could tolerate so much, and he was the nice guy in debates for you guys on the left. How many people you think are going to listen to you now or even try to have a conversation with people on the left anymore, especially when all of you who are out there posting the vile trash you are online, celebrating the death of Charlie Kirk, and now, quite frankly, have the freaking audacity to go out and bitch that you're going to be the victim of cancel culture because somebody's building a website with your own words, clips of your own posts online, and saying that, hey, any employee or any employer that would like to check if they have any staff members or employees that have engaged in this vile behavior, would like to see if they have any, come on over to this website and see if we found any. And the people who are freely engaging, their First Amendment right is now calling that cancel culture. This is the same thing they try to do with libs of TikTok. No, sweetie, it isn't cancel culture when it's your own words. Nobody's twisting your words. So that's the difference. Cancel culture comes from the left. Cancel culture is when a leftist goes out there and tries to get somebody fired based on things they did not say or did not do. Do you understand? The difference is one is simply a reposting of undisputed, verifiable, demonstrable evidence. Libs of TikTok or this new website saying all we're going to do is repost exactly verbatim what this person said. No alterations. This is it. This is what they wrote. This is what they put on Instagram, on TikTok, on X, on Blue Sky. God nose, whatever else. Versus somebody said they were a Trump supporter or they were wearing a MAGA hat. And then, based on them wearing a MAGA hat or saying that they supported immigration reform, or no, they don't think we should have 20 million illegal immigrants in the country, and then you turn around and a group of crazies online try to get an individual fired from their job based on expressing a sane and sensible opinion because they would call the employer and say how they were making racist comments and acting like Nazis and so on and so forth. Yes, there is a difference. No, we are not the same. No, there's no moral equivalency between us. You understand now? That's it. Done having the conversation. Not for the people in the audience. This is a smart audience, but I'm talking to the other people out there that'll eventually see this clip. And then I'm sure by noon tomorrow, I'll be all over Blue Sky with them calling me a Nazi or literal Hitler or whatever else. I really don't give a shit anymore, and that's kind of the point. I'm done with it. I'm absolutely done with it. Let's see. Some of the things I actually shared, and because I didn't get to set everything up the way I had wanted to, some of this may have been shared on my page versus just bookmarked. Oh, there's so many things. Oh my God, there's so many things. Yeah, Madam Savvy is out there. Our friend Madam Savvy has been doing amazing work. God bless her. She's been outstanding. There's so many things. Let's just run through this. I'm gonna find this thing. I have it in here somewhere. I swear, if I can't find it, I'm gonna lose my mind. But it all started. You know how it was. We found out who the shooter was. The left tried to obfuscate this. Right, and the left has gone through the most bizarre progression. No pun intended. The left has gone through the most bizarre progression that I have ever seen, or at least that I can remember in recent memory, in the sense that they started out with he's MAGA, or they got mad when the first rumors came out that this guy was either himself trans or trans connected, right? Because people were saying, well, he may be, there may have been something scrawled on one of the rounds of ammunition that was loaded into the Mauser. By the way, it was a Mauser 30-06. I think on the Wednesday show, if I'm not mistaken, I told y'all it's going to be a 308 or something of the sort. It's going to be in a 30 caliber range. I mean, I watched the video. I heard the shot. I'm like, that's not a 223. That's not a 5.56. Or it's not an AR-15. I said, that's bigger. It's probably a 308, a 300 Win Mag, and it's a 30-06, which, if you don't know, the 30-06 is basically it's the older version, let's call it, of the 308 and the 300 Win Mag. It's still a plenty accurate, very, very terrible. Well, we all saw it. We all know what it can do at 200 yards. Okay, but I knew it was in that family. So supposedly there was stuff written on there. I think some things turned out to be correct. Other things turned out to be not entirely correct, although clearly not wrong. We know that one of the things scrawled on the rounds of ammunition was "Hey fascist, catch." Yeah, that's the people we're dealing with, kids. So we found this out. To be clear, hang on, I blew up the wrong screen. We found this out. Surprise, surprise, surprise. So Charlie Kirk's killer, his assassin, wasn't himself trans that we know of yet. Because at first, remember, the police were interviewing the family. And the first thing we heard, the left jumped all over, and we knew it was going to be the case. We already knew who this guy was. We already knew this was going to wind up being a radical leftist. It wasn't, I don't think it was at all. I think we all instinctually knew that the shot that was taken was taken immediately as Charlie Kirk started answering the first question of the day about transgender related issues. And then, bang. I think we all knew it wasn't a coincidence. Charlie Kirk's alleged assassin, Tyler Robinson, lived with a transgender partner, which has now been verified and reconfirmed, and it's the case. But the left couldn't accept this. For then it was, he wasn't transgender. He had a transgender boyfriend. See, it wasn't him. It doesn't make a difference. I'm like, dude, are we still trying to claim that this asshole is a conservative who, for some inexplicable reason, the left has been unable to explain, because there is no damn explanation? A conservative man, according to the left, the lunatics out there that created this monster, assassinated Charlie Kirk for reasons that have been yet to be explained, not only in satisfactory manner, but in any manner whatsoever by the left, who also had, by the way, P.S., in case you didn't know, a tranny boyfriend. And if you believe that story, I got a bridge to sell you in Death Valley. It is the amount of mental gymnastics that the left have got to be putting themselves through to try to reach these ridiculous conclusions. And in case you haven't seen it, it's got even worse. Now, the left is because they've lost the argument that he was MAGA. Right? That's now been thrown out. They tried to go with, well, he came from a MAGA family. His dad was MAGA. His mom was MAGA. Then we found out, oh no, this guy was decidedly radicalized by the left. Then they tried to say, well, that doesn't make any sense because Utah State University, which I know the shooting happened at UVU, at Utah Valley, but I think this kid went to Utah State, and they're saying that's one of the most conservative universities in the country. So does that mean they have no liberals there? No, it's still a college full of Gen Zers and stuff like that. I mean, there's still a bunch of 18 to 22-year-olds. There's still going to be radicalized elements of the left there, even though it might be mostly populated by conservatives, or at least allegedly so. So then they went with, well, that couldn't be the case because he went there and it's mostly conservative. And then friends have since then confirmed, oh, no. He was very much liberal. He was very much leftist. So they lost that argument. And then they said, well, he wasn't trans. His boyfriend was trans. Like, y'all are not really thinking this through. Now we're down to the fact, then they tried to go with, well, you see, the thing is, he might be a leftist, but he grew up with a police officer father and a family that was MAGA and had guns. So it's the family's fault for teaching him how to use guns. I'm not fucking kidding right now. This is out there. It's out there. This is the kind of absolute mental retardation that we're dealing with. People who are stuck in a stupid loop. And this is my point. This is why America is going to have a divorce with these people. Because they're incapable of learning. They're incapable of processing logic. And I'm not talking about every single Democrat out there. I'm not talking about every single leftist out there. They are simply, I'm talking about the ones, and especially the younger ones, which is really the shame. But there are so many of them out there that have been so brainwashed for so long, so hard, that they are just stuck. They are just stuck. I love it. Yeah, Dumb Bear. I love this. I'm not gay. My boyfriend is. That's it. This is the level of abject stupid that we've gotten to. And here's the other thing. Besides now blaming the family, right? Besides, let me fix this. Besides blaming the family for, oh, well, it was still MAGA's fault because it was the Republican gun lovers that he was surrounded with his whole life that taught him how to do this. There are 400 million privately owned firearms in the United States of America. Many of them you will find in the suburban, the very white, middle and upper class suburban areas of this country. If the guns were the problem, once again, then suburban areas in this country would be absolute war zones that would make inner cities of New Orleans and Chicago and name anything look absolutely safe, look amazing. It's again, we're talking about people that cannot process logical thought. Now, in case that wasn't enough, the left is now hung on the fact that MAGA, according to them, is now upset because the shooter was white. I'm not kidding. Wait, I'm going to get it for you. Watch this. They have, when I tell you that these people have run the hell out of ideas, okay? And look, let me give you this as an example. Oh my God. This is the man in the image is Governor Cox of Utah. Pardon me. I was switching the screen here. Governor Cox of Utah. Let me go over here. There we go. Hate to break it to you. This is some idiot. I don't know who this person is. I keep seeing this person. There's so many freaking idiots that are suddenly popping up in my feed. And I'm like, fine, I'll bookmark it and we're going to make fun of you. Because that's what we're doing now. Y'all shot the nice guy. Now you're getting me. You're getting more people like me. We're not going to be that nice. Okay? A very normal, smart young man, a lot of gaming going on, deep, dark internet, Reddit culture, and this is, they're paraphrasing what he was saying. Hate to break it to you, America, says this person. Hate to break it to you, but it's not normal to be raised by people who glorify and encourage their children to handle, get ready for it, weapons of war. What? Now, again, this is from today. A 30-06 clip, I think it was a top-loading clip fed, was it not? Like an actual clip, like not you mislabeled a magazine. I'm talking about like an actual like strip clip, 5-round top load, like World War I, World War II era Mauser. I mean, okay, because it's served in World War II. It's a weapon of war. Because, look, that's not what the left means. What the left means, because a lot of the people on the left are still hung up on the fact that this is a false flag or some bullshit, or it was, this had to be, there's no way this 22-year-old kid took this shot. It's like, no, this is, like I said many times, the guy that did this was not a noob who just walked in that morning to a local gun store, bought a hunting rifle, climbed up on a roof, and did this. It took somebody that had some degree of skill. That doesn't mean they were anywhere near a professional. You don't need to be anywhere near a professional to take 200-yard shots, especially not with a 30-06. Okay, that's a very powerful round that is meant to travel a great distance without losing energy and falling to the ground before it hits its target, right? It's that if it was a 22, you ain't doing it, but a 30-06, absolutely. So it does take some degree of skill, but it doesn't take an expert. And they're still trapped on this. The people, we've talked about this before, the people that have the least amount of knowledge, especially on guns, are always the ones that have the most to say about guns, it seems, on the left. But yeah, you get stuff like this. And there's other ones as well. Let me make it very plain. Conservative men don't have trans boyfriends, the end. Yes. And this is one of the things I was talking to earlier. Well, it's next in the list. Hasan. Now, I've never watched this guy's show. I didn't know anything about this guy, honestly, before this week. I don't pay attention to other content creators. But having seen enough, I think, fully in context clips of this guy, there's really no way to misinterpret what he's saying. There is no other possible interpretation to what he's saying other than what he says, which is absolutely 1,000% calling for the killing, extreme violence, killing, murder, calling for this kind of stuff on his live shows against Republicans and conservatives and MAGA and, yes, Charlie Kirk. Again and again and again, even after Charlie Kirk was killed. And good on, and this is why we love Madam Savvy. And I like almost called Savvy to see if she wanted to hop by the show tonight. I was joking with Michelle here from Force of Light. As you can clearly see whose studio I'm in at this point, if you haven't figured it out, I'm at Force of Light. I mean, I don't think Savvy has slept since Wednesday night. If you know Savvy well enough, you mean that girl doesn't, once her brain locks in, and once she decides I'm going to go down a rabbit hole, that's it. I think Savvy has probably been awake for 4 days. So, but Savvy managed to do this, and in case you didn't see it, good for her. Savvy, check this out. A quiet ban, she says, would not be enough for me. And she's talking about the people that run Twitch. I think that's who that DJ Clancy dude is, needs to step down. Twitch needs to issue a statement acknowledging they do not enforce rules evenly and will clean up their moderation team. A full third-party investigation should be done. And she has a clip there from saying that, Twitch, you've got to ban Hasan. Look who responded to it, and look who he tagged. So congratulations to Savvy. I think Elon Musk has now responded to 2, if not 3, of her posts on X in the last few days. So I want everybody to go out there and go follow Madam Savvy if you're not already. Savvy is amazing. Savvy is the type, and she freely discusses. She talks about this on air. So I'm not telling you anything that she's not told her audience a million times. Savvy is very sweet, and she's. I don't know how her husband. I don't know how he survives with her. But she always talks about when she goes into like the full autistic mode, when she goes into research mode, it's just boom, it's pedal to the metal and just on down. And nobody, and I mean nobody, does research like this girl. She is incredible. And I can tell you the conversations that I've tried my best to keep up with in like the Flashcast chat, the private chat that we all have together for Yellow Flash's show. And I wish I could get on there more often. I missed last night again. Saturday nights are very difficult for me. But Flash has been a great friend and been very patient. He always keeps me around, so I try to hop in when I can. But Savvy's amazing. So please follow her. Go check her out. You can see her right there. It's at Madam Savvy on X. And we're trying to get her. We were really trying to get Elon Musk to follow her back so that Savvy could DM him, a mountain of research and evidence that she's compiled for some of these psychos out there, mostly on the gaming side of things. Savvy really digs into the gaming side. So hopefully that will happen. And then we have people like I don't even know where this guy came from. I hate to even put his name on a screen. He's such a little twat. I'm sorry. Tell me you have. This is. This is what we were talking about earlier. The website I said where they're collecting. All they're doing is collecting people's posts. People who work as teachers. Teachers, as in, high school, kindergarten. Your little 8-year-old Billy, his teacher, his 3rd grade teacher, 4th grade teacher. The one with the nose ring. And the blue and purple hair and the big horn rim glasses and look like, she could probably double for Arnold the Pig. That one. Yeah. When she's out there celebrating Charlie Kirk's violent murder in front of his wife and children. And little Billy's teacher is dancing about it on TikTok. And saying that they hope that his wife and kids are next on Blue Sky. Yeah, there's people out there collecting all this. And the reason I highlighted this is not because I'm trying to give attention to these brain dead retards, because that's all that's left of them. But I need to be able to illustrate exactly how these people think. Okay, expose Charlie's murderers, right? This is the website, and they give a thing. I want to pull this up so you can see the whole thing. Follow us if you go follow these guys if you want. Follow us on Twitter at 4CharlieKirk, the number 1, 4FOR, 4CharlieKirk, number 1 on Twitter. At 4CharlieKirk1 on Twitter. Okay? Go follow them over there. Now, what do they want to do? Is an employer or student of yours supporting political violence online? Look them up on this website. That's it. They're not going out there, trying to create a list of people we think, and people are calling this blacklisting. It's not blacklisting. Blacklisting is where you make a list of people that you suspect of something without any evidence, and then you just shut them down, Mostly. I mean, we think about true blacklisting. We think about the kind of things that went on, back in Hollywood in the day. I'm talking 50, 60, 70 years, well, probably 70 years ago now. I mean, there's a lot of other things. We're going to blacklist this type of people, this group of people. This is actually, again, this is taking people's own words, own posts, own videos on TikTok, own tweets, own farts, whatever they call, what do they call it on Blue Sky? Are they farts? It's something like farts, I think, on Blue Sky. So they just take their own posts and hey, this person said this. This is how this person feels on their own account, their own words. We've done nothing to it. No editorialization. Just here's this person. Do you employ this person? Maybe you should know that your employee, who especially has in their bio who they work for. And this is the other thing. It's like, hi, this is Jane Smith, who works at New Orleans Independent School District or whatever. And then right under her bio has her latest post, which is celebrating Charlie Kirk being murdered in front of his daughters and wife and hoping that the kids are next. Wouldn't you want to know? I would. If I was the boss, if I was running that business, I'd want to know for damn sure. Because that looks bad. Because it's got my business name right above it. That's not blacklisting. It's not cancel culture. That's called consequence culture. And that's what's about to happen to these people. Okay? The fuck around portion of the show has concluded. The find out portion is now beginning. Simple as that, right? That's it. So there it is. Now, this is my point. How broken-brained is the left? It's this broken-brained. Tell me you have no clue what defamation is without directly telling me, is what I responded to. This website is almost certainly criminal defamation, and any of the people on it have an easy lawsuit. This person should never give legal advice. Clearly not a lawyer anyway. So it just as a matter of rule, should not be doing that. There is no... First of all, we haven't even seen the website yet. It's allegedly going to drop sometime later this week. This person who set this up, and I think there's another one too, has been so inundated with just people screenshotting other people that I think they're up to like 20, 30,000, and it was just in a couple days. So, I mean, it's going through the roof. And it's just people's tweets. And look, and an employer may go on there, they may not. An employer may look and find the name of somebody that they employ on there, or they may not. And if they find one of their employees has a clipped tweet on there, they may decide to keep the person or let them go based on what they read. I mean, free speech moves in both directions, kids. You don't just get to say, oh, well, I've got free speech. I can say whatever I want. Well, sure, to an extent, sort of, calling for violence like the left often does. But that aside, that does not free you from consequences. You can say whatever you want, but that doesn't mean that you're not going to reap the whirlwind after the case. The freedom of speech is mostly, it just says the government can't put you in prison for political speech. You can't face reprisal from the government for political speech. That has nothing to do with the fact that your employer, a private business or whomever, probably decides that they don't want to be affiliated with somebody that's celebrating the murder of a husband, an innocent man who was doing nothing, sitting there talking to somebody peacefully, and then was shot in the throat in front of his wife and children. You're going to celebrate about it. I think your employer is going to make a rational decision and say, you're not a sane person. You're not a person that I think we need affiliated with my company, because it exhibits that you may not be thinking correctly. That is not defamation. It is not defamation in fact, it is the very opposite of defamation. Sit there and take somebody's own words and without any editorialization, simply post or repost, I should say, somebody's own words. This is what was said. What is there to argue? But hey, go ahead and feel the need to waste some money on attorneys, I guess. Cheese and Pete's. I'm trying to find this. I mean, there's been so many of these videos, and like I said, I wasn't planning on going super long tonight. I need to, let me see if I can, let me take one more attempt here to try to find this. I'm going to be really ticked off. Oh God, I can't. This picture, y'all probably saw this. I'm going to put this up. This is devastating. You have Irina from the light rail in Charlotte, who was viciously murdered on, well, we saw the video it came out talking about that. And then this is Jesus. Ugh. That's rough. Okay. I'm gonna take one last attempt here. I think we've kind of talked about most of the stuff I wanted to discuss. And I know we got some super chats, don't worry. I didn't forget about you. We're gonna do that. I want to take one more look through my bookmarks because I'm going to be really ticked off. I swear I marked this stupid thing. This is I'm just going to throw this up here. This was Governor Cox, and this was another thing that leftists responded to stupidly. Which I didn't understand why, but hey, you don't have to understand it's the left. So this is Governor Cox of Utah. I think this was, if I'm right about which clip this is, I think he was confirming some of the information that had been up to this point rumored, but officially 1,000% confirmed. And I think this was where this was coming from. So let's listen to this. Talking about the investigation into, and I ain't going to say his name, the transgender's boyfriend that shot Charlie Kirk, the transgender's boyfriend that shot Charlie Kirk. We'll go with that. That's appropriate.
Friends that have confirmed that there was kind of that deep dark internet,
back it up
friends that have confirmed that there was kind of that deep dark internet, the Reddit culture and these other dark places of the
Reddit.
internet where this person was going deep, and you saw that on the casings. I think I didn't have any idea what those inscriptions, many of those inscriptions even meant, but they are certainly the memification that is happening in our society today.
Yeah, he radicalized online, and he specifically mentions places like Reddit. Why are we not surprised? Reddit is a cesspool. Reddit is a shithole. I mean, it is the shithole of the internet. Let's be honest. I mean, probably even 4chan. I mean, it's. What do you want? I don't know if y'all saw this. I thought this was a joke. I'm like, this has got to be. There's no way. There is no way. This is the kind of sickness we're dealing with. Again, we are not the same. There is no moral equivalency. This is. Please, somebody tell me. Come out and say, "Oh, Valiant, this was a hoax." I don't think it was. But dude, Toronto School Board investigating a Canadian teacher who forced 10-year-olds to watch the Charlie Kirk video of his murder over and over and over again. They're investigating an allegation, the Toronto School Board, that an elementary school teacher forced his class of 10-year-olds to watch footage of the murder repeatedly. Several students from his class allegedly went home and complained to their parents, traumatized at witnessing on-camera death, which they were forced to witness numerous times over. I wonder why you would do that to 10-year-olds. People are weird. Again, I can't. This is the guy who wrote. This is the guy who wrote it. That wrote that. This is the account that wrote the article for it. Canadian teacher. Now he adds to this because he screenshotted the top of it. Suspended after forcing a class of 10-year-olds to watch a video of Charlie Kirk and his murder over and over again while ranting about fascism. We are not the same. We are not the same. How about this one? This was a good one. You guys know we talk about a lot of Hollywood stuff. We know we talk about a lot of Disney stuff on the main channel, right? Well, how about this one? When I worked at Disney, this is from Peachy Keenan. It's just, again, stuff that ran across my feed. A lot of these people I've never seen before. But she's, look, she's followed by Kaya Ratchik. That's Libs of TikTok, by the way, in case you don't know that. Kaya Ratchik is Libs of TikTok. But when I worked at Disney, the family-friendly movie studio, and look, she's saying that very tongue-in-cheek, I assure you. When I worked at Disney, the family-friendly movie studio, I endured daily conversations where my coworkers would discuss how they hoped that Donald Trump would die soon. How dumb and evil conservatives were. This is Disney, hoping that Donald Trump would die. This is Disney creatives over there. How Donald Trump was an actual Russian spy who needed to be arrested, and if they ever met a Trump voter, they would punch him in the face. The magical world of Disney. And there I was, walking to Starbucks with them or eating lunch in the commissary or in a meeting. This, by the way, is still the norm years later at nearly every large corporation in the world. All my friends and family who work at these places live in abject terror even now that they are exposed as right-wing people. Why is this okay? How have we just accepted this, and how is corporate America, how corporate America has to operate? If people at companies are getting fired for being happy that Charlie's dead, does that mean that closeted conservatives can finally be themselves at the office? It's a really interesting question, isn't it, Chad? It's a really interesting question. Funny enough, the timing came right after this one that I marked from Eric Daughtry. Just in, liberals are being caught mass deleting posts where they claimed the Charlie Kirk assassin was right-wing Christian MAGA Republican after learning that Robinson is a devout, quote, anti-fascist with a transgender boyfriend. Their attempts at spinning this story have failed. But they have tried everything under the sun. This is what's scary. This is what I wanted to bring up here. This is something. I think we're going to be seeing this week. This is the next question, and this is a serious question. So listen up, guys, girls out there in the chat. The question now is, how many people had advanced knowledge of this assassination? I'm telling you right now, it's more than one, and it's more than two. and it's probably more than 3. They are investigating now because they were finding quite a number of people who were online friends of either the shooter himself or the transgender boyfriend who were posting things like this before it happened, like a couple days before it happened. You guys, I think I have something big coming soon. Just check the news. You'll know it when you see it. Well, that's that. These are not randos. These are people that apparently were in some form or fashion connected to either the shooter or the shooter's transgender boyfriend. And yeah, this is what I was looking for. This is it. I think we'll close the show here. Matter of fact, and let me grab some super chats first. And let me see. I think Michelle said she kind of wanted to hop in here for a few minutes. This would probably be a great time as we get to this last piece. Because this, I think this post is actually really, really, really good. This is really, really spectacular because it's written from a different perspective than somebody who's conservative or always around conservatives. And I want to get to this one. I want to give it its due. Hang on a second. Let me grab her. She might have the show on downstairs. She might be on a 15-second delay, and she just heard me say that. Thanks, Michelle, for letting me bug you all weekend and use this house till too late tonight. I need to get back to the hotel because I know she's got work in the morning. So, but let me grab some of these super chats. Shout out to Jay overseeing the room. Good job, Jay. That's right. Right behind me, Canadian Jay Bear is here. Drunk 3PO, Jay Bear is here. Thank you, Benjamin Loken. The Wild Man of Yavin for 5. Dude, people showed their real colors this past week. Oh, yes, they did. Guess what didn't happen? Riots. Wait, we didn't riot. Did we forget to riot? Damn it. Did we forget to riot? Did we forget to burn down some white neighborhoods in the suburbs? So somebody go loot a Target or something. Oh, wait, we don't do that. I forgot we don't do that. We don't do that. I'm sorry. We forgot to burn down our white suburb neighborhoods after the Charlie Kirk shooting. So, let's see. Oh, come on, grab a seat. You don't have to wait. I'm reading super chats. Let me scooch over it again. We tried to figure this out earlier, how to get this. I think that'll do it. Yeah. So let me finish grabbing some super chats. There you go. Say hi to Michelle, everybody. Michelle from Forest of Light Entertainment. Make sure you go check them out. Because y'all hadn't had a show since it happened, but I know you said earlier, like,
yes,
it's probably going to be tomorrow night. Well, how do you avoid talking about it?
Yeah.
And I just played. I don't know if you saw it because I know you were downstairs on the phone, but Stuttering Craig was here a little while ago. Not like on the show, he's in the chat. And I was like, oh, perfect, because I had the clip from Craig's show this week where he's like, you haven't really talked about games a lot in 2 days. And he's like, well, this kind of seems more important. I mean, everybody, and the guy's like, you didn't miss anything at Nintendo Direct.
Yes.
It's now a $90 game instead of a $60 game. That's it. And they were like, yeah, this is just more important. Everybody's got to, they got to talk about what they got to talk about. Thank you, Wild Man of Yavin. And Wonko the Sane for 10. When the right gets radicalized, we stand up and make our voices heard, debating and arguing. When the left gets radicalized, well, we've seen several examples of that lately. Yeah. Istophobos for 2. They aren't being deplatformed like they do to us. Oh, there's some deplatforming coming. I'm just telling you, it's getting there. Well, I mean, it's going to happen on X. I can't speak for Twitch. And I mean, that's what we were showing Madam Savvy's tweet earlier where she was tagging Elon, or Elon Musk was responding to her. And it's like, okay, Hasan needs to go. Hasan is nuts. Like, I don't watch Hasan. I've never heard, like, I didn't know did you know who Hasan was before? Like,
No, I did not.
yeah, see, you don't watch other YouTubers either. I mean, or not. He's not really a YouTube. He's a Twitch guy.
Well, then what about like Destiny?
Oh, he's on the list. Like, people are watching him. Oh, because he's still out there saying the stuff, and it's not. And we were explaining earlier, cancel culture versus consequence culture. Cancel culture is where you literally just make up something about a guy and try to get him fired because he wore a MAGA hat.
Yes.
Versus, no, you went on a live show, or you posted something on Blue Sky, or you posted something on X saying, "Oh, wow, that was great. I hope his wife and kids are next."
Yes. Well, and what's bad too is the left in the day used to try to be, oh, well, we're about consequence culture, not cancel culture. No, they weren't. Like the two are not the same. Them trying to cancel, we'll use her as the example because she's such a big one. Gina Carano for her post. Compare that to somebody going on and celebrating the murder of an innocent man. They're not the same. The two are not the same.
No.
So, no.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, trying to say that Gina made a tweet, and look, let me tell you what, and I said this.
It was true.
It was, yeah. I said that somewhere the other night on X. I'm like, well, and Gina has been proven unequivocally correct.
Yes.
She posted a tweet about how when you continue to dehumanize people, you eventually are going to go down a road that's going to lead somewhere. And she was concerned that we're doing it here in America, and it's the same thing that happened in the Weimar Republic in the 1930s prior to full-blown Nazi Germany, where a group of people were being completely dehumanized until the population was desensitized enough to just say, oh, just kill them.
Yeah.
And she got fired for that by Disney, by Kathleen Kennedy, and Lucasfilm.
They said it was abhorrent.
Yeah. They called the tweet abhorrent. They said that she was denigrating the Jews and the Holocaust and all this kind of stuff. And it was like, no, didn't say that. But now you have people that are actually doing it.
Yes.
So the left has been desensitized. Now they're actually killing the nice guy that said nothing. I mean, some people want to make it out to say something because, like, oh, well, we said earlier that people keep sharing the clip of him doing a segment of a clip where he said that, well, blacks were, or they claim that they said that blacks were better under slavery. And it's like, no, that's actually not what he said. Because remember, they pulled this same trick on Rush Limbaugh years ago. They tried to make the same thing that Rush said, that black people were better off as slaves. And it's like, no. He never said that. Charlie Kirk never said that. It's like, the left keeps recycling the same arguments and the same BS over and over and over again. But no, I think some of these guys are definitely getting deplatformed. Spaceballs, the user, says, for 10, Obi-Wan described the aftermath the best. If you strike me down, I'll become more powerful than you could possibly imagine. True. Rosy Toes for 5. I emailed my congressman and asked that Charlie Kirk's birthday be made a national holiday. Future generations must never forget. I'm sure there's going to be something.
Yeah.
Timu Outlaw on the run. Timu Outlaw on the run. John Pimpia. Oh, God, that's a name. It was worth. It was the. Oh, I think he means it was the worst week of the year. Definitely. Yeah, I got you.
Sure.
Yeah. Let me get this right. A guy who thought Kirk was not MAGA enough was living with his trans girlfriend. Make it make sense, says the dead man for 5. It doesn't, because it's bogus. It was never MAGA. And we've watched the left react to this and just they didn't know what to do after that point. What's up, Sean? He says for 2, Valiant, what about the food? Ducks, 1 for Charlie. Wait, what?
The Oregon Ducks. He was a big Oregon Ducks fan.
Oh, yes, the Oregon Ducks. I got you. Okay, I didn't realize that's where he was from.
I don't know if he's from there or not, but he was just a huge Oregon Duck fan.
So, like, we're talking about, like, Oregon football, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, cool. Let's see. Eric Heffelfinger for 10. Like the new background, Canadian bear on top of your head is a nice touch. I know we've had several notices of Canadian Jay Bear back there looking over my shoulder. So where I like now Jay these are the 2 live streams tonight. This is the most Jay has been on my show in months. Let's see. Darius for 5, cancel culture started 10 plus years ago when third wave feminists started pushing back against Gamergate and anti-feminist YouTube channels. Oh, it came from all kind of angles. It came from the gaming side. It's come from the Hollywood side. Think of Ghostbusters 2016, like all that kind of insane stuff, like where things went full woke. And then we got to 2020, and then, after the Michael Brown story collapsed that started with Ferguson, Missouri, and the whole Black Lives Matter thing and NFL and all this kind of stuff, and hands up, shoot didn't actually happen. Oh, shoot. Okay. Then they moved on and on until they got to George Floyd, and then woke really went into warp 17 at that point. And then we found out things weren't quite as they seemed on that case either. But by then it was too late. Hollywood was buried in it. So, and this is where cancel culture really came in. Somebody that had the audacity to step up and say, you know what? I'd really like to not take this relatively untested medication out there right now that everybody's being demanded that you take just to go back into work. I'd really like to not do, canceled, that kind of thing. That's actual cancel culture. That's the difference. There we go. Sergeant Dan stuff. You don't have to agree with Mr. Kirk, but have the decency to mourn for him and his family. But woke mind virus won't let you. Yeah, pretty much. That's about it. Oops.
You got that one.
I think that's what happened. I was like, I thought I was further down than that. I was like, I knew I did that one wrong. All right, Dan's life at the Kingdom for 5. You might as well label the left as a terrorist organization. They don't want to debate. They just want to shoot us when we disagree with them. I mean, that's the point we're at. Mm-hmm. They have been slowly trained into that type of thinking. I'm going to show y'all something here. I'm going to get back to these. I think we got up to a good bit here. Let me grab. Let's see. We got a couple of. Let me get these two $20 super chats here. Soul123 for 20. Thank you so much. They don't call you a fascist, racist, Nazi, etc. because they think you believe the things that they do. They call you a Nazi, racist, etc. because they are marking you as an acceptable target to be shot. And yes, that's what they've been doing. That's what Gina Carano talked about. She got fired from Disney for it. Guess what? Gina was 1,000% right. Mm-hmm. And we all knew she was right. Unfortunately, the overwhelming proof came at a very high cost last week.
Yeah.
Proof that we didn't need to know she was right, but now it seems unassailable.
Proof that some people needed, though, sadly, and I think a lot of people woke up over the last week.
That's going to be the last thing we read on the show. That's what I want you to come see. I don't know if you've seen this post yet. I haven't really shared it, but I think you're going to like this because it goes exactly what you just said. Soul says for another $20, make no mistake, if you've been labeled as a fascist, if you were shot, they would celebrate. Please internalize the fact that they call you a fascist, etc., to mark you as an acceptable target. Yes, that is you're square on the money here, Soul. You're right on the money. That's exactly what this is all about. It's about, they start with words are weapons kind of thing. Words are murder, all this kind of stuff. Words are violence, whatever they want to call it. And the reason that was put out there was, number one, they couldn't win an argument. And Limbaugh talked about this for a long time. Democrats could never win in the arena of ideas. So at that time, they would go to the courts, right? You'd pack the courts full of left-wing liberal judges that wouldn't actually adjudicate based on the law. They would adjudicate based on social justice or what they would want to have happen or what they thought was fair. We've now moved past that to the point to where the left can't win in the debate. The debate is now online, right? Now we have X. Now we have all these other, Facebook, whatever else. The left is online, and they can't win the debates there. They had the nice guy, Charlie Kirk. The left couldn't beat him. So they shot him for it.
Yeah.
Charlie was labeled a Nazi and a fascist and all this stuff based on the fact that he was just conservative. And but that was enough justification because they've already trained that group of people out there that, oh, well, if you're MAGA, you must be racist, fascist, Nazi. You're literally Hitler. I mean, that's where you at. Thank you, Soul. All right, let me read. I want to pull this up. And
there's one about me and Natalie, if you want to get that one.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you want to read that one? Oh, it's from MedMutt. Go ahead.
Michelle, tell Natalie I'll crawl through broken Youngling beer bottles in a Arby's drive-through to get her roast beef sandwich and curly fries.
How many broken Yinglings do you have, man? Clean out your car. No, I had a few of those in the. I've been a while since I've had a Yingling. It's like one of the oldest breweries in America.
Okay.
If you've never had it, and they actually have some new ones I really like called Flight. I used to bring them out on the boat. They're the Yinglings, or is it in the Flight the Yingling, or am I thinking of something else? I think the Flight is the Yingling. It's like a super light. It's really good summer beer because it's not real heavy. Okay. Cool. All right, we'll get back to the super chats in just a second. Let me read this because in fact, let me go down in the corner here and make this a little bit bigger just so everybody can kind of see it and follow along with me. It's a long rant, so I'm going to try to go through this, but it's worth it. I promise you guys it's worth it. We're going to close the show out with this. My liberal friends are completely oblivious. This is from Robert Sterling. My liberal friends are completely oblivious about how radicalizing the last week has been for tens of millions of normal Americans.
Yes.
Now, I want you to, listen to, he did not just say right wing. He didn't say MAGA. He said, no, normal Americans have now been quote unquote radicalized. And not, I don't think to the same thing as you think with the left, but just follow along here. I'm not talking about people who are online. I mean regular, everyday Americans, normies. People who scroll through Facebook posts, Instagram reels from the Dutch Brothers drive-through line. Political moderates who have water cooler chats about Mahomes touchdowns and Bon Jovi concerts, not Twitter threads or Rachel Maddow monologues. Millions of them, tens of millions of them, they're logging on, they're engaging, and they're furious. And I'll be candid, they blame you guys. They blame the left. Regardless of whether you believe it to be justified, they think you're the bad guys here. And they are reacting accordingly. I can already hear some of you racing towards the comments to start screeching in moral indignation. So I'm going to be blunt. Shut up and listen to what I'm telling you. Your movement will lose any semblance of relevance if you don't develop some small measure of self-awareness. And absent someone force-feeding you bitter medicine, you guys collectively lack the humility to do this on your own. Here's the facts. Tens of millions of Americans started the week seeing a 23-year-old blonde woman, a young woman in whom virtually every parent watching pictured their own daughter, stabbed in the neck by a career criminal. These people then found out the murderer had been released from jail 14 times over. Fact 2. 2 days later, tens of millions of Americans watched a video of Charlie Kirk get murdered speaking to college students. Millions of these people who knew Charlie was, and millions of them didn't. Upon seeing the video, however, these normal Americans from across the land and across the political spectrum agreed that he was the victim of a terrible, fundamentally unjustifiable crime and that their hearts broke in sympathy for his family. Good people who had never even heard the name of Charlie Kirk before wept. Immediately after seeing the footage of a peaceful young man get shot in the neck, these same people logged on to Facebook and Instagram. Remember, we're talking about regular Americans, not perpetually online Twitter blue sky users. And some saw some of their local nurses, school teachers, college administrators, and retail workers celebrating this horrific crime, not just defending it, but cheering it. These are all facts. You may not like the implications of these facts, and we can certainly debate the underlying causes thereof, but indisputably, they are nevertheless factual statements. Here's what it means for you, to the Democrats reading this. These normal, middle-of-the-road, non-political citizens just became politically active. They realize that politics cares about them, even if they don't particularly care about politics. After watching Irina Zarutska and Charlie Kirk both bleed out from the neck, they think their lives and the physical safety of their families, the bedrock of human society, the foundation of Maslow's hierarchy of needs, depend on political activation, whether they desire it or not. These people are now sprinting, not jogging, not walking, but racing to the right because they blame you guys for everything that just happened. When they see the footage of DeCarlos Brown stabbing a Ukrainian refugee to death, they don't see one demon-possessed man. They picture every university administrator, HR bureaucrat, and DEI apparatchik that ever lectured about ever lecture them about systemic racism and the carceral state, or the need to release violent crime suspects without bail in the name of social justice. Then they think back to the conversations they had with their cop friends, their buddy from high school, who quit the force after getting tired of being called a racist, their friend at the local YMCA who vents about having to release career criminals because Soros-funded prosecutors aren't willing to file charges. And they realize everything the left has told them over the last 5 years has been utter bullshit. And they blame you. Because even if you count yourself as a moderate Democrat, your party supported the district attorneys, the city council members, and the mayors that let fictitious concerns about mental health and racial justice supersede very real concerns for their families' safety. When these Americans see blood erupt from the side of Charlie Kirk's neck, they don't just see a martyred political activist. They think of every extreme leftist who ever met, who calls anyone to the right of Hillary Clinton a fascist, and constantly jokes about punching Nazis and bashing the fash. They realize that they really do exist, or there really are people who exist who wish to see them dead for their moderately conservative political beliefs, their Christian faith, and even the color of their skin. They ask themselves if the violence visited upon Charlie might one day show up on their own doorstep. And they blame you. Because even if you're just a center-of-the-road liberal, you lacked the courage to police your own ranks. You let modern-day Maoist Red Guards run loose across every facet of society, and what started with a social media struggle session has now turned to a 30-06 bullet hole. When these Americans log into social media and see their neighbors justifying, celebrating, glorifying murder, they realize that some who walk among them are soulless ghouls at best. They literally demon-possessed at worst. And these people, whether they faithfully attend church every Sunday or only attend with relatives once a year or on Christmas Eve, start talking about things like spiritual warfare. They implicitly understand that no normal human casually celebrates the mortal demise of a peaceful person, and they blame you. Because even if you condemned Charlie Kirk's murder, they probably haven't seen you condemn those in your own movement who cheered it on. They view you as complicit in allowing heartless fellow travelers to celebrate death. And it repulses them. For all these situations, what has your response been? Nothing but bullshit. In response to Irina Zarutska bleeding out on the floor of a train, you post bullshit statistics about reductions in reported crime, when everyone who's ever been to a major urban center in the last decade knows the actual crime has skyrocketed, only for victims not to waste their time reporting it to cops that frankly don't have the manpower to respond, and prosecutors that seek to downgrade as many felonies as possible to misdemeanor citations. And I'll add to that, in the name of racial equity justice, is what that's about. In response to a 31-year-old man taking the bullet to a neck in front of his family, you post nothing but bullshit whataboutism. What about January 6th? Honest answer after you let Liz Cheney spend 2 years operating a star chamber in the House, combined with countless other failed attempts at lawfare against Trump, no one cares anymore. What about Mike Lee making a dumb joke on Twitter about some guy in a mask in Minnesota? What about Paul Pelosi? By the way, remember Paul Pelosi? Remember that his gay lover was over there and they were in their underwear. We all know what happened to Paul Pelosi. Don't give me political violence on Paul Pelosi, because it wasn't political violence. What about regulations on assault rifles? Guess what? There was no assault rifle involved in this. It was an old frickin' deer hunting rifle. An old World War II clip-fed, a strip clip fed top-loaded Mauser, for God's sake. Not exactly an assault weapon. Not that there is such a thing. In response to teachers, healthcare workers, and thousands of other liberals cheering on Charlie's murder, it's nothing but more bullshit and misdirection. It's not that many people celebrating. Yes, it is. Everyone has seen it on their Facebook and Instagram feeds. I thought you guys didn't support cancel culture. We don't cancel people over their opinions. We're more than happy to see people lose their jobs, especially taxpayer-funded ones, for actively cheering on murder, however. If you can't see the difference, that's your own shortcoming. Amen. We're not the same. Mm-hmm. All bullshit, not even smart bullshit, but stale, mid-grade, low IQ bullshit, ordinary Americans see right through it, and they don't like how it smells. You probably don't like hearing this, but you need to hear it, because I'm right. And as you reflect on this, you know I'm right. The ranks of my political movement gained millions of righteously angry new members this week. We have a mandate to ensure these crimes never happen again, and that's exactly what we're going to do. If you want to keep your seat at the table, as we do, so you'd better clean house and start policing your own. And that's that.
Well said.
It's basically everything we talked about in this show, strapped together in one neat. I saw that today. I don't remember how I ran across that, but I'm like, oh, that's brilliant, and that's what I wanted to find. Finance bro. I don't even really know who this. I just said the rant is enough. I mean, finance bro, Marine. I mean, there we go, another finance bro. I'll have to look him up a little bit more. But in any case, I mean, what did you think? I mean, you sitting here listening to all this.
Well, it's 100% true. I mean, it is. People, normal human beings that are not just totally warped and hearts are hardened and gone. They're absolutely disgusted, and rightfully so, by what they've seen. And I posted something on our Force of Light account that was so, like, if you take issue with it, you can unsubscribe from my channel. Like, because it was just something no one should take issue with. And there were a few people trying to justify, like, lack of empathy or care for a man who got murdered in front of his 3-year-old daughter. And it's really disgusting. That guy wrapped it up. He's putting it more eloquently than I am. But at the end of it, he said a soulless ghoul. You really are. I would not need to appreciate any political opinion of a man or woman, and if I watch them get shot in the frickin' neck with their children watching, I would be upset by what I saw, because I'm not a horrible human being. And I think some of this, it just shows again that Gina Carano was right, that they have labeled us so long, since 2016, you racist, sexist, bigots, deplorables, out of Hillary Clinton's mouth.
Yeah.
And they have called us so many names. Why? So they can justify violence at the end of the day. And people are we need to stand up and be unified, because this evil in our country needs to be snuffed out, because we cannot live in peace as a nation when we have people that literally want to kill us. And obviously not all Democrats are that way. I think we all know that.
No.
It is a percent of them, but it is time for them to clean their own house, because this it does not work. We can't function together when we have people that cheer murder.
No, you can't. And I mean, this is the next step. We kind of briefly touched on this earlier in the show, but this is what I wanted to post this, because this had up, and I know people were asking me out on X. They're tagging me, Valiant. You got to share that rant. I will. I got to go back into the bookmarks. I'll get it. I'll repost it when we close the show. Don't worry, because it's great. But this was from last night. FBI and state agencies have launched investigations into multiple leftist groups in Utah for possible advanced knowledge, because of what we showed earlier. Because we found out that they're finding a lot of things on places like Reddit and 4chan. You can probably imagine where people that were like online connected friends of the shooter and the trans boyfriend talking about, wait till y'all see what's coming this week. You'll know it when you see it.
Jail.
Yep.
Jail.
Yep. Accessory to murder. Oh yeah. If they find, I mean, they're gonna find DMs or something like this. That's why I said it's just beginning. We might see a lot more people going to prison, because you can look and see what it says right here. They're not only providing, or they're not only trying to find out who had advanced knowledge, but they're trying to see which one of these groups, and you can see some Democrat Socialists of America, surprise, which one of these groups actually provided material support, basically trying to hide the killer, or possibly before. At least one group deactivated their whole social media page after the shot was taken.
Oh,
because they knew. So it's like they're already digging. They're digging.
Well, good. They need to find any person that possibly knew that this was going to happen, because this just cannot continue to happen. We really have not had anything like this since Martin Luther King Jr. I mean, it's been since the 60s that we've had something like this, and it needs to go a long, that many years again before we ever see this again. This does not need to become commonplace. It needs to be snuffed out and crushed right now.
Yep. Look at the first reply. If you don't know who he is,
Oh my goodness.
the guy
Oh
who's about
my
to be the
God.
next
Oh,
mayor of New
I was
York.
reading the AI overview.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Ah, okay.
Mom Donnie is a member of that particular or that party who had a group on a page that they're wanting. Now, I'm not saying that he had
No.
advanced knowledge personally, but my point is
That's
this.
who he aligns with.
Yeah, we're electing leaders of major American cities that align with this philosophy, that align with the people who are committing these atrocities. And let's be honest, Mom Donnie probably, even if he didn't publicly do it, he may have. There's been so many people that have. But I tell you right now, probably at home, when he's not online and the door's closed, he probably clapped. Let's be honest. You know he clapped for that assassination. Does anybody think he didn't? Raise your hand, because it ain't gonna be me. But yeah, this is what we're dealing with now. As sad and stupid as this is. And again, people that still have these posts up. Tyler Robinson was arrested. He was MAGA. He's a confirmed MAGA Republican. Nope. That didn't work out. So, anyway, by the way, I'm just. Well, you know what? I'll do it to close the show out because why not? It's just. This was it. In case you didn't see it. Oops, I meant to go. Not that one. This one. I'm just gonna do it because it's too funny. The transgender partner. His name, and you can't really see it. Yeah, okay. His name was Lance Twiggs. Is this the gayest name ever? I mean, apparently there are reports now that one of them was a furry.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna have to jump off, but I will let this be my parting thing.
This is it. Yeah, I'm gonna read the rest of the supers. We're done.
That is another thing I will say. It is time. Like we can have compassion for people who are mentally ill, but we can no longer, as a nation, continue to tell people who are mentally ill they're fine.
Right.
What we have done with the trans movement is the equivalent of if a schizophrenic was having an episode and the doctor sat there and said, yeah, what you're imagining in your mind is actually there. It's that crazy. And we see what it has led to, because every shooting now has a connection. And there's a reason.
Yeah. I mean, that's exactly it. I mean, mental illness is mental illness. I mean,
yes.
But again, remember, to the left, they celebrated it so much that to them it's no, it's normal. It's the gun. It's the gun did it. The gun just jumped up and did it. So anyway, Michelle, thank you so much for hopping on. I'm glad you were here.
Yes.
Check out Force of Light. Their live shows tomorrow. What time?
6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Force of Light Entertainment.
See you then.
And I'm sure Juliet and everybody's got the link out there. They've been throwing it in the chat. So
thank you guys.
Yep. All right. Thank you, Marcus, for being here. Thank you, Sean. Thank you, everybody. All right, let me swing the camera back yes away a little bit. Okay, so let's wrap it up here. I'm going to grab the rest of these super chats here, and I've got to get on out of here because I'm driving home tomorrow, so I got a haul in front of me, so I gotta finish. I gotta pack up all the stuff I got here and get back to the hotel and get on the road tomorrow. So Sean says so both the dude and the dude's boyfriend were. Yeah, I didn't even see that you threw it. You got ahead of me there. Yes, apparently, there's going to be so much more fun stuff coming out. Like I said, the left is so mad right now. I don't even know why. Every time this happens, they want to say it was a MAGA guy, it was a Trump guy, it was a MAGA guy, and it's like, nope. I'm genuinely confused as to what brain dysfunction led them down the primrose path of thinking that this guy who shot Charlie Kirk, of all people, and would think he's MAGA. These people are brain dead. We are not the same. There is no moral equivalency. This is America's divorce. This is America's divorce from the left. It's done. We're done here. It's done. It's been nice. It's been fun. We've been trying to go to couples therapy now for years. It's over. It's over. That's it. Amendment for 10 was going to say that these lefty liberal loons and politicians need to repeat their hate into a mirror and may have an epiphany. But as I realize, this won't work because there will be no reflection looking back. Because they're vampires. I think that's where Amendment was going. But no, unfortunately, may be the case. King Reaper for 10. Hey, this is my first chat. Look, I hate the patty system. To watch both parties get more into hate is BS. I don't agree with the Kirk view. I do not approve of execution of anyone expressing views. See, that's fine, King Reaper. I don't have an issue with that. Nobody ever should. You know, okay, I wasn't politically, you know, like you said, you weren't politically aligned with Charlie Kirk, but you didn't want him to die over it. Well, that's a normal human being response. You're not the issue, King Reaper. You're not the problem. The problem is frankly, the far too large segment of the left nowadays that doesn't think like you anymore. Again, you would be absolutely shocked. You can see it online right now, how many of these people think that wanton violence is absolutely justified because everybody to the right of Hillary Clinton, as this person just talked about, is literally Hitler in their minds. They have been programmed this way now for probably at least a decade, if not longer. Probably a lot longer, but it's really gone into overdrive, I think, the last 10 years. Especially since Trump became president in 2016. That's when the radicalization of the left really went into overdrive. And again, remember, they were told before Trump even walked in the White House, he was going to be a dictator. He was going to take away rights. Women were going to be the handmaid's tale. Gay people and blacks were all going to be arrested and thrown in prison or executed. I mean, there was batshit crazy levels of stuff out there before Trump had even got sworn in January of 2017. And they did it again before January of 2025. These people are mentally defunct. We got that one earlier. Darius for 2. Hasan needs to be reported to the FBI. I think he already has been. I'm pretty sure he already has been. I know they're really getting Twitch attention, and Elon Musk has already taken a notice to it. Let's see, John comment, how do you feel about Legal Mindset's call to people to use OSHA to report coworkers for praising Kirk's unaliving? I think it's brilliant. That's interesting. Apparently he's done, he is Legal Mindset. Apparently he's done more research than have I on how that didn't even occur to me. Using OSHA. For those of you who don't know, OSHA is the Office of Health and Occupational Safety and Health Administration. OSHA is basically that federal. I don't even know why it exists. It's a federal agency that sets rules and regulations that every business has to operate to provide employee safety and this and that. It's one of those things where it's like, is that really the job of the federal government, or is that the job of state government to do that? Anyway, problem is, that's not a bad idea. It'd be interesting to see. I have to go back and look. Did he do a video clip of it? I'd have to go look at it to see how he put that together. I'm interested, John. Thank you for alerting me to it. Anita Amanda Huggin. Yeah, that's okay. I got it. $2. I hope you and Michelle are. Oh, I hope you and Michelle are brothers and no, we're not. We're not brother and sister. No. I'm up here in Tennessee. I'm staying at a hotel, guys. Michelle let me use the place today to do the shows from because it's easier because she's got a studio here, and I'm traveling nearby, and I've got property that I'm shopping around up here. So yeah. So no, I'm at a hotel, guys. There's nothing going on. There's nothing there. You guys in the chat need to. I know y'all need something to do. I get it though. Is that because you think we look alike? I guess we kind of both had that dark hair. Well, I used to have hair when I did. Let's see. Marcus, did you put? I didn't know that was a thing. No, I have not put $100 bill in the Canadian J Bear G string. Is there a G string on that thing? Are y'all kidding me right now? That's too creepy, man. I'm not even going to touch that. I don't think so. John comment, I like pros coined accountability culture. Yes. Consequence culture, accountability culture. I mean, you call it what you want. Yeah, it all works. Ord, DDS, watch Legal Mindset to learn about Hasan. Yeah, I've learned a little bit about him in the last few. I didn't really know who this guy was. I don't follow Twitch people. I mean, I don't follow a lot of YouTubers. I just don't have time. I'd heard the name bantied about online, but I never really knew a whole lot about him. I've learned a lot more in the last few days. He's a real piece of work. John Coleman, we have that game place and that park place. When is that political place happening for $5? Don't ask me. I don't think that's a road those guys are ever going to go down. I don't know. I don't know if they have time to run another channel. I don't think that's going to happen, guys. John Coleman you're stuck with me. You're stuck with Renegade Nation. It's going to be here. John Coleman for 5. I think it's time for us to join Blue Sky and force these people out of their own echo chamber. There were a lot of us that set up Blue Sky. I have a Blue Sky account. I set up a Blue Sky account right after Trump got elected because I'm like, oh my God, this is going to be so awesome. I can't. And I lasted about a week on it and I couldn't take it anymore. I'm like, you'd go in and check it, once every couple of days. But the level of IQ in there is basically warm salad and old mayonnaise. I mean, you're dealing with the lowest common denominator of human trash. In that place. They are loons, absolute loons that are lost in their own world. And the amount of hatred in there is staggering, absolutely staggering. No capacity for logical thought whatsoever from most of these people. Everything is very self-absorbed. It's all about me, self-centered. And everybody who doesn't think exactly like me is a Nazi that deserves to die. I mean, that's the summary of the attitude on places like Blue Sky. It's an absolute shithole. Medmut, did my super chat on lefties talking into a mirror? No. I think I just read it. Lefties talking into a mirror. I think that's the one we just read. I may have jumped around a little bit earlier because I was trying to get through that thing. No, but I got it right. Medmut, that's the one I just read. Let me see. I know I just read something about looking in a mirror. I need to heart these comments, not be a jerk. I forgot to pull that up. I'm pretty sure I read that, Medmud. I know I just read something about like not seeing their own reflection in a mirror. Is that the one you were talking about? Because they have no soul or they're vampires? Didn't I just read that one? Let me look back through. Unless there was another one is what I'm saying is. I don't know if there was another one that I missed. And for those of y'all watching on X, appreciate you. Again, if you're watching, like, what are all these guys throwing in chats that Valiant's putting up? Those are called Superchats. This is the crew that's watching on YouTube right now. This is the YouTube crowd. So this is basically where the home of the Renegade Nation is really YouTube. But hey, look, we know we got a lot of fans on X that don't go to YouTube. We'd love it if you do. It helps us out more on YouTube than X, I hate to say. Because X is different with the way they do things. It's good for viewership. But in terms of like building the overall community, YouTube does a much better job. Many complaints as I have about Google, obviously, clearly in YouTube, but nobody has been able to replicate what they do yet. TPUSA chapter request through the roof. Turning Point. I 32,000. I'm dead. Oh, color me shocked. Color me shocked. I mean, good for them. Medmut says, never mind. Okay, that's the one. Okay. Yeah, we were getting there. I'm sorry, Medmut. We got to it. And finally, Medmut for 2, Canadian J Bear looks like a messed blue meanie. I should just sit over here and just let J Bear in the background right there. Do it that way. Somebody screenshot this and put it on X right now and just tag Jay in the picture. There you go. Just tag Drunk 3PO. There you go. Got enough for a still. All right. All right. I got to get on out of here. Guys, thank you so much for hanging out with us. We'll be back later this week. Should be set up for a Wednesday show and get back on track Thursday with Ron Coleman. We'll try to talk about to Matthew Marsden. I need to get him in here to do a show. Maybe we'll do that one Thursday too. We might just kind of tackle that topic on the Thursday show with Ron, or we'll see what happens. But busy. I'll be on the road most of the day tomorrow, so stay tuned. Thank you guys for being here. Appreciate Force of Light. Go check them out. Make sure you subscribe. And we're out of here. See you next time. Take care.